Hey everyone, I'm Captain, and this is Now They're Grown, sorta. This is a podcast about parenting, just not the kind with diapers and bedtime routines. My kids are grown, or at least they think they are, and this is where I share real stories, lessons I've learned, sometimes the hard way, and the moments that remind me parenting doesn't actually end, it just changes. If you've ever wondered whether you're doing this whole parenting thing right, even years in, you're in the right place. Greetings to all of you that are listening, and welcome to Episode 6. The moment I realized I was still learning. 2. There's this idea we carry as parents that we're supposed to have it figured out, that we're the steady ones, the ones with the answers, the ones our kids can rely on. And for the most part, we try to be. But there are moments when you realize you're still learning too. I remember one moment in particular, though they were many, as the kids were growing up. Early on, being a new dad, but in my early 30s and trying to rely on what I remembered from growing up myself, I thought that, in order to be fair, I had to discipline the kids exactly the same. I mean, what's more fair than that? It didn't matter that I only grew up with brothers, but I had a boy and 2 girls at the time, right? Well, my girls helped me realize that I was 100% wrong. Each kid is different, and especially when you have boys and girls. Each one responds differently to correction and discipline. They have different ways of learning things and understanding. Plus, they are built different emotionally, which affects how they react to things and how they deal with correction or how they saw it, disappointing their dad. I had to learn what motivated them and how they processed discipline, not to appease them, but for them to grow and to show them that they each mattered to me individually. At the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was helping. I thought I was guiding. But looking back, I missed it at first. I didn't really hear them. I didn't slow down long enough to understand what they were feeling. I just reacted and leaned on what I thought I knew. And that's a tough thing to sit with, because as parents, we don't like to admit that we got it wrong, not to ourselves, and definitely not to our kids. But that moment stuck with me, because it made me realize something I hadn't really thought about before. Just because I'm the parent doesn't mean I've arrived. I'm still learning, still growing, still figuring things out, right alongside them. And the truth is, sometimes the most important thing you can do as a parent is admit when you missed it. Not with a long explanation, not with excuses, just honestly, I got that wrong. I should have listened better. I'm sorry. Those aren't easy words to say, especially to your own kids, but they matter more than we think. Because when you do that, you're not losing authority. You're building trust. You're showing them that growth doesn't stop just because you're older. That being wrong isn't something to hide from. It's something you learn from. And something interesting happens when you do that. They open up more. They trust you more, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Looking back now, I wish I had done that sooner. I wish I had listened a little longer, reacted a little slower, tried to understand before trying to fix. But I also know this: that moment changed the way I show up now. Now I pause more, I listen more, and when I miss it, I own it. Because parenting isn't about getting it right every time. It's about being willing to grow, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means admitting you didn't handle something the way you should have. So if you've had one of those moments where you look back and think, I could have handled that better, you're not alone. That doesn't make you a bad parent. It makes you a real one. And sometimes, the lesson your kids remember most isn't what you taught them when you were right. It's what you showed them when you realized you were wrong. Thanks for listening. If this episode made you think of your own parenting moments, or someone who's in the middle of it right now, go ahead and share it with them. And if you want more stories like this, make sure you follow the podcast. Because no matter how old they get, they'll always keep us guessing. I'll see you next time.